Welcome to Conversations with the Black Girl Blogger podcast, where you will hear amazing human interest stories from everyday people. They will inspire you, they will encourage you, and they will help you to overcome all of what you are going through in your life. I am your host, Aisha Morgan, and let's meet today's guest. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Conversations with the Black Girl Blogger. I'm Aisha Morgan, and I am your host. Now, some of you are listening on a podcast platform, but I'm hoping that the majority of you are on YouTube watching our first video episode of the podcast. So if you are listening on Apple or Spotify or Audible, or wherever you listen to your podcast, make sure that you go over to YouTube and check out our YouTube page, Conversations with the Black Girl Blogger podcast, and make sure that you subscribe, go through our videos, like them. The audio versions of all the podcasts are available, so make sure you give us a like, a comment, and again, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. So, today I'm going to be talking to you all about a detox that I did last week. I do have a second Instagram page called Plant Powered and Fit Mama. And on that page, I do post workouts. I post some of my skating things because I just started skating, roller skating. I sometimes will post nutrition things, but it's mostly about workouts. So recently, I decided to post about a detox that I did last week. And I did chronicle some of what I did every day, but you can only say but so much in 1 minute on Instagram. So with that being said, I'm going to get right into why I decided to do this detox. So hopefully by now you all know that I was a very focused vegan, like alkaline vegan, before I had my daughter. And then I got pregnant and the cravings became too much, and so I just ate whatever I wanted to eat. And that continued after giving birth, and then even after I stopped breastfeeding, it was the same thing. I ate whatever I wanted. I did not eat beef or dairy, but I did eat pizza, so cheese. So I did eat cheese in that form. Pizza is my weakness, but through that time, my body was going through a lot of chemical changes. There were hormones racing through my body, and then I suffer from ADHD, so food does metabolize in my body a little bit different than it does in other people. And, ADHD is caused by a chemical imbalance. So those chemicals, along with my hormones and the food that I was eating, became way too overwhelming for me. And so I needed a restart. I just felt like I was out of control. I was having a hard time focusing. I had lots of schedule changes, which is not good for me. Following a schedule is very beneficial to everything that I do. I have my handy dandy planner where I write everything down, from my workouts to my meals to what I need to get done for work, appointments, everything. Everything has to be written down so that I stay on track. And trust me, when I don't write them down, I forget. And so I double book myself, or a plethora of other things happen when I don't write things down. So if you don't know, adult ADHD is just like ADHD in a kid. But certain people have certain characteristics, so it just depends on the person. For me, mine is not so much the hyperactivity, but the attention deficit is where my ADHD focus is. And so organization, prioritizing tasks. I took notes because I have a hard time remembering and focusing on things. So I did take notes. Being disorganized, trouble focusing on one task or even multitasking, problems following through and completing tasks, and trouble with coping with changes in your schedules or stress. And so I do have some of those issues, but they were heightened during the past 2 years. Just, I think, because of all the chemicals in my body and my body just trying to regulate itself back, and me not taking care of my body just put me in a tailspin. Like I was just going. So I decided to do a reboot and just start over. And so that's why I did the 7-day detox, juice detox. Jamel recommended Squeezed online, and so I ordered my juices from there. However, on Monday, they wouldn't get there till the afternoon, and I wanted to start on Monday. So I went to Main Squeeze and bought a 1-day juice cleanse from them. And then the next 5 days, I drank the Squeeze online juices. And then on the 7th day, I went back to Main Squeeze and got a 1-day detox set. So each day, I was drinking 5 juices and 1 almond milk or cashew milk, depending on which juice I was doing. So Main Squeeze has almond milk, Squeezed online has cashew milk. And so it was 5 juices and 1 milk. So how was I feeling? I think that's kind of like the biggest thing. Like, what did you notice? So the first day, I did have a headache. Still, of course, I feel like it's natural to have food cravings. I just wanted to eat. I just wanted to chew something. I didn't care what it was. I just wanted to eat all week. All 7 days, I just felt like I should be chewing and eating something. By the second day, I drank more water, which helped with the headaches. I think I was getting dehydrated the first day, and that's why I was getting the headaches. So I made sure that I drank my juice at a certain time and then drank water following each juice. And so that did help with my headache. So by the 3rd day, I didn't have any more headaches. And then another symptom, I guess, that you could say from the detox or side effect, I was constipated for a couple of days. And then I think that drinking the water, like increasing my water intake, did help, because eventually I did go to the bathroom. But that, again, is a part of detoxing. You can either have diarrhea or you can be constipated. Another side effect of detoxing, you could experience emotional issues, not like more irritation. So you can become irritated. And that's usually because your body is getting rid of things that you normally would be eating. So for instance, sugar. When you detox from sugar, that can also cause you to have headaches. And it can also cause you to be irritated just because those chemicals are leaving your body, and your body is so used to having that you become irritated because you're not consuming it and your body is getting rid of it, which is a good thing. I mean, you want to get rid of those things. So when you detox, no matter what kind of detox it is, there are certain things that ways your body could react to it. You could experience bloating. You could experience blemishes on your face or on your body. You could have food cravings, fatigue, drowsiness, low energy, and congestion. Reading my handwriting, which is not the best. Congestion. So bloating, because again, your body is getting rid of all of the bad things that were in there. And it took you longer than 7 days to consume those things. So it's going to take longer than 7 days to get rid of those things. And so you do become bloated. And congestion. So congestion, mucus, is one of the things that causes you to be sick because it holds bacteria, it holds all the negative things that are in your body are in your mucus. And so when you are detoxing, that mucus starts to come out. And it can come out in many different areas. Like, you wouldn't realize where you have mucus until you do a real detox. I detoxed when I became vegan several years ago, and I followed Dr. Sebi's meal plan, and I took his herbs, and mucus was coming from everywhere. I'm not kidding. If it was an opening, mucus was coming out of it, which was gross, but I'm just keeping it real. Like, I mean, I wasn't sick anytime after that, just so you know, and I got sick after I stopped following his meal plan and being stringent about what I ate. Again, is why I did the detox, so that I can regroup and reset my body. I think that, you know, during the past 7 days, the food cravings were probably the hardest thing to overcome. The other symptoms is kind of like, okay, whatever, I'm bloated, I'm irritated a little bit, I'm tired, but just wanting to eat something, and then things that like I was normally eating that Jamel might be eating, and I'm like, let me just drink this juice because I can't eat it. That was hard. That really was hard. But, you know, I had a goal, and I wanted to focus on that goal more than I wanted to focus on instant pleasures from consuming the foods that I shouldn't be eating anyway. So, you know, small sacrifice. I mean, I did it for a long time, and I know I can go back to it. But I just, again, I had to restart. I had to hit the reset button on my body, on my mind, on my everything. And so that comes to my next point, that I didn't do this for weight loss. I did not weigh myself before I started. I did not weigh myself after. I didn't take before and after pictures. I literally just started. It was more about the loss of focus. That's kind of the opposite. It was more about gaining focus, gaining concentration, gaining control over my body. And it was all prompted, actually, from Redman's Red Table Talk, where he said he got to a point where he's like, what can I control? I can control my body. All right, so let's do it. And then he did. And so I think it was the right time for me to hear that message, very simple message from him, but it rung true. Like, hey, you can control this. No one controls your body except for you. Unless you live in Texas. I'm not going to go there, but you control what you consume. And if you know that certain foods and things that you consume do not help you, then don't consume them. It is not as easy as saying it. And so mentally, I had to really get myself ready for this 7-day challenge. Knowing that it wasn't going to stop at the 7 days. That after the 7 days, I still had to put some things in place to ensure that I did not go back to the unhealthy eating habits. And so, someone asked me, did I only consume the juices or did I take supplements? So the answer to that is yes, I did take supplements, but not pills. And it wasn't supplements that you think. So I was taking sea moss, which I take anyway outside of all of this. And then I was taking the Detox Now liquid supplements for my fibroids, to get rid of my fibroids. My fibroids grew and multiplied before I got pregnant, actually. So when I stopped following the alkaline lifestyle, somewhere in that time, my fibroids grew and multiplied because I had one, and then it turned into 4, and then when I got pregnant, it turned into 5. And so I have 5 fibroids that I am needed to get rid of, and I don't want to have surgery. And so in doing my own research, I found that changing your diet, taking certain supplements, can help shrink them. And so that is what I had been doing before the diet change. However, for it to be effective, you really need to follow the meal plan and the food list that was given when you sign up for the detox. It's called the Detox Now with Coach Jessie. Jessie is spelled Gessie. You can find her on Instagram, YouTube, her website, the Detox Now. There's plenty of information. You can do your own research. I did my research and made a decision for myself to go this route as opposed to the surgical route. And in order for it to work, I needed to change my lifestyle, change what I was eating, change what I'm consuming on a daily basis. And so it is important for me to get rid of these fibroids. There are days that I would wake up and I would look like myself. And then by the end of the day, I looked like Kingsley had a sibling on the way because my fibroids would just cause me to be bloated. And so I do feel like the juice and the supplements together did work, because during the 3rd day, I did have my period, which for the first time in a very long time was not an issue in any capacity. The flow, the cramps, the bloating, I did not have it. And to be completely honest with you, I a couple of times forgot that I was on my period. And that's how non of an issue it was. So that was just my experience. I don't know what other people could experience or would experience or have experienced, but that's what I went through, and I'm grateful that it happened because I saw the effects of doing things the right way for me and my body. My decision. So, what next? So the 7 days are done. Throughout last week, I experienced all of the detox symptoms, the bloating, the fatigue, a little bit of irritation. That could have also been because I was on my period, but you never know. And the headaches, as I said. So I went through those phases. By the 4th or 5th day, I was kind of in the groove. I had found a good schedule with the water and the juice and was up and running. The 7th day was kind of hard because I was prepping my food for the week. And so I'm cutting vegetables and I'm making sauces and all kind of stuff And I just wanted to eat it. I mean, it smells so good. Like, how do vegetables smell good? When you've been drinking juice for 7 days, vegetables smell good. Trust me, they do. Cucumbers, I was in heaven smelling it. Smelling the cucumbers, smelling the peppers and the onions. It was just like, But I did not eat it until today, which is Monday. And so the next step for me is for 5 days, I'm going to eat raw only. Nothing is going to be cooked, just to help my body transition back into consuming food. And so I will be eating salads. I will be eating wraps with lettuce as the, wrap casing, making my own sushi without rice, tacos where lettuce is the shell, sauteed mushrooms, not sauteed, sorry, marinated mushrooms as my meat, walnut meat as my meat. I'm going to be making Brazil nut cheese for the first time, so I'll let y'all know how that goes. And what else? Kelp noodles. I am going to be making a meal with kelp noodles, and you can look that up and see what that is. I'm going to be making pasta, like spaghetti sauce, tomato sauce, but not cooking it. So when you put it in the blender, it will heat up just from the movement. It's not going to be hot, but it's not going to be cold either. So I will be making some sauce with that and eating it with kelp noodles and some ice cream with coconut milk and vegetables. Coconut milk and fruit. I'll be making smoothies. I know. All of this sounds so unappealing to some people, but when you've had juice for 7 days, this all sounds amazing. So I'm looking forward to this week and just being creative and coming up with meals and eating really good things. And then once those 5 days are up, so after Friday, I'm going to be eating mostly soups. So they will be cooked, but to kind of slowly get myself back into eating cooked food, I'm going to start with soup. And they will be, vegetable broth based or butternut squash based soups with added vegetables or quinoa or wild rice, something like that. And that will be what I do all of next week. And then after next week, I will transition to eating regular alkaline vegan cooked food. So I have a plan. It is all written in my handy dandy notebook. So I have it all mapped out. I did a really good job of meal planning for this week, and I'm ready. Like, I had my salad today. I had some fruit as a snack. I had some trail mix. Had smoothie, and then I had wraps with collard greens, some walnut meat. So I'm there. I'm excited about this because I know it's something that I've done in the past, and I just kind of stopped following it for no particular reason. So that is it, everyone. I think I covered everything and answered questions that everyone asked. And my first YouTube podcast episode is complete. So I would like to invite you all to follow me on all social media platforms. And you can find me on Facebook at Conversations with the Black Girl Blogger Podcast. The same for Twitter. And the same for YouTube. And then on Instagram, I am the Black Girl Blogger, as well as Plant Powered and Fit Mama. So you can also follow that page. You can also follow that page on Instagram if you want to learn more about my workouts or see me skating, because I am a beginner. And I always try to post something on that fitness page. And then the blog page on Instagram, I just let you guys know when I am posting podcast episodes. I give you a little bit of preview of the podcast, information about our guests before they're going to be on. And of course, if you're watching me on YouTube, you can follow me also on Podbean, Audible, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple, or anywhere that you can listen to podcasts, as well as my website, which is theblackgirlblogger.com, and you can find episodes there as well. And so thank you all for checking me out today. This is my solo episode, and yeah, it was great. Thank you all for stopping by and listening to my detox story, and please check back next Tuesday for our next guest. And that's a wrap on another amazing episode. I know that you were just as inspired as I was after listening to that conversation. And to let us know how we're doing, don't forget to leave us a review, like, share, and follow the podcast. Also, make sure you follow us on all social media platforms at The Black Girl Blogger, and check out our website, www.theblackgirlblogger.com. And the most important step, make sure you share the podcast with someone you know and tell them to share it with someone they know. And if you know someone who has an amazing story to tell, or if you yourself would love to tell your story, leave us a message on our website or any of our social media platforms so we can reach out to you and have you on the podcast. Until next time, peace out.